But the military says all is quiet and peaceful in the Mountain Kingdom. It says Kamodi has not taken any armory or fled, but remains in office and is still in command. This despite Thabane firing him and appointing a new army chief.
There are people who are actually trying to make a situation whereby we will find a political problem being solved militarily by inviting a military intervention. I don't think that SADC is actually still clinging on to that.
The protagonists are on different sides, but both are pinning their hopes on President Jacob Zuma's intervention. He wants to restore peace and stability through talks.
Our stance is always that you need to give diplomacy a chance. There has to be meaningful dialogue of all the role players to seek a peaceful resolution to any crisis, particularly political crises. A military solution has to be the last resort.
Mahlatsi Gallens, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All right, let's get a little bit more on that story. Now we have SABC reporter Ntagwane Ngatani on the line from Maseru. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, it's being reported at the moment that police have fled their homes, police stations are not open, government officials remain in hiding. What's the situation like on the ground as we speak?
Well, Ayanda, good morning. What has happened in the past few days is that police have started going back to police stations and they have started wearing their uniforms, but in the previous week we saw them, yes, going away from police stations after the clashes with the army on the 30th of August. Now, in terms of the people on the ground, what is actually happening is that you see people now quite apprehensive in terms of what is happening as the situation in Lesotho, and people hoping that the visit by President Zuma will bring some kind of solution to the crisis at the moment. Ayanda?
Lesotho's Prime Minister, Mr. Tom Thabane, alleged to be backing down on his promises to reopen Parliament, citing security concerns. What's the latest with regard to that? Do we know whether or not Parliament will be open there?
You know, Ayanda, it is still a big question that, because, as you've heard, Prime Minister Tom Thabane has followed the letter of the law in appointing a new army commander, and the declaration of the Gazette, as it is called in Lesotho, has been signed by the King. But at the same time, the army coming out now to say, as far as it is concerned in its command, the command has not changed. It is still Lieutenant General Kamodi. So that presenting a rather tricky security situation for Lesotho at the moment. People not knowing whether or not the two factions then, the people who are loyal to Kamodi and who are loyal to the new commander, the newly appointed commander, will come head to head, and how this will affect people on the ground. Ayanda.
Let's stay with General Kamoli now. I believe he's believed to be in hiding on the mountain somewhere with an arms cache and some expert soldiers along there with him. Is there any indication that members still loyal to Lesotho's government will go and look for him? Why can they not go and flush him out, perhaps, from the mountains?
Well, Ayanda, apparently on Saturday we heard that Lieutenant General Kamodi had gone to the military hospital in Maseru. Apparently he is diabetic and he had gone there for medical attention, but the government or the authorities did not even know that he was there. This beginning to give ideas that perhaps there are people still loyal to him inside of the army and within the ranks of the army, as the situation is at the moment. So this again presenting a challenge to the new commander who says he is now trying to establish who exactly is still following Kamodi's command and who is following the new command that has been instituted by Prime Minister Tom Thabane, and that being the situation that is quite tricky at the moment.
I'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much again for your time. SABC reporter on the ground there, live from Maseru, Ntagwane Ngatani. Thanks again for that update. Well, let's turn our attention to domestic affairs. Now, Chief Justice